Hi, good morning, welcome. Welcome to my channel, Chris Kilue. And here we are, about to start organizing the things that I have here. I'm going to set my channel on YouTube to get to see your comments. So give me a sec if you're coming in, welcome. And the delay, it's going to be a little bit a problem here, especially with me. I don't know which one of my phones will work properly. Okay. Here we are, setting this up, live chat, and we are testing if this is working properly. Okay, there you go. Okay, so welcome properly. My name is Chris Kilue. That's my artistic nickname. That name came from a dream, let me tell you. A dream that I had a long time ago. And well, I just remembered the dream and I was like, that sounds interesting. Interesting combination of letters and sounds. So that's where I started. Okay, so for the people who are new here, I have a collection of videos with tips, with process, with how to use different mixed media. They're both in English and Spanish, so you can get to go back onto my playlist and you can get to see that my live streaming is just very recent, but most of the videos that I have are from probably 5 years ago, so you can go there and watch some of those. Okay, hi Dawn, welcome, thank you for coming. I hope you're having a good morning. And practically what we are going to be working today is small slideshow of things that have been going on this last week. I'm going to put my small pause away and I'm going to show you first what we're going to be using that I started using last week. Okay, and it's this set deck cards, prompt ideas. Got this as a birthday present from Amazon, so that was really nice. And it's been very inspiring. I haven't been able to do a lot of things with these, but probably today I will use it for more Alebrije drawing, not necessarily painting because I don't have any acrylics or gouache, just a little bit of inks here and that's it. So I'm also going to show you what I've been doing with mixed media watercolor, what I've been advancing here for my workshops with my student. And here we have got also some that I have with my niece. And that's something that I'm going to show you there. Hi Miriam, how are you? Nice to see you here. So my niece and her family came because this weekend, it's a long weekend here in Mexico. Today it's the celebration of the Constitution. And normally when one of those holidays is on a Saturday or Sunday, they normally give us Monday off. So I don't have classes tomorrow. So yay, I don't have classes tomorrow. But I do have a lot of things to mark after I finish streaming. So I'm going to show you things that my niece drew that I'm just so in love with this. We were playing yesterday and she loves this character. And I don't have here the doll, the knitted doll, because she wanted to sleep with him. But in the next stream, I'll show you the knitted doll that I have of Baby Yoda that she was copying. It's not finished yet, so I'm going to ask her to finish this one because it's so cute. But later, she decided to open the delayed Christmas presents. So I gave her a spirograph. And with this spirograph, there were these special pens that have double color. And this is what she did yesterday. She drew my cats. Of course, this is in Spanish. Miriam, you will be able to understand, of course. So that's what we call one of my cats. So look at this. This is so cute. There you go. Right. This is the other cat, the Siamese. She's 10, by the way. Yes, Dawn. She's very, very young. She's 10, and she's already having these characteristics of, how can we say, paying attention to details, knowing how to place those details on paper. So this is Nico, and these are all the other names that we give the cat. And this is for me. She calls me Kippy. So because we couldn't say, she couldn't say Chris, she was young. So she made this for me. You can get to see this. And also for my dad, her grandpa. So she calls him Abu, Julio, and Abu from abuelo, grandfather, that's the name in Spanish. And I mean, she's using already the spirograph here, and she's already having a lot of control. I mean, look at this. Not a lot of people can handle the spirograph. But well, I gave her some tips. And this is one of my cats. He's not longer with us anymore, but she also drew the cards. I mean, look at these eyes. Raul will love this because they are like the style, like chibi, manga, Japanese kind of thing. So look at that. So there you go. Yes, I know, Miriam. It's a very, very common word in, we can say, in Spanish to just shorten the names. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing here. With my student on Wednesdays, we're working with mixing everything we can. So we are mixing soluble graphite, we are mixing Inktense. This is the outliner, and here I have a few colors, but I have my box here of 12. I'm not carrying the 72 because it's just too bulky. It's a little bit complicated. We are using permanent ink. Let me just draw these here. We are using permanent ink, and we are putting all this together onto these type of things. So we normally start with small ones, small little pieces of papers, and we work mixing watercolor for the background. It's a better control. And then we go and use Inktense for the trees, just simulation. This one is not ready yet because we have been practicing her brush strokes. She's still very, very symmetrical in what she does, and she needs to be a little bit freer, looser, so she doesn't go that mathematically representation, you know. She's a doctor, she's a pathologist, so normally those kind of brains are a little bit difficult to go into art. And you have, if you follow me on Instagram or social media, you have seen this one. Let me move mushrooms here. You have seen this one. I have put some recent updates with this one, and I didn't like the bottom that much, so I decided to go and throw some wash there, and there you go. Looks much better. Still not finished. I still need to get a little bit more of reds or yellows, probably a bit of orange. But after I did this, then I decided to experiment with this and Inktense. And that's where this, that I'm going to show a little bit closer to my camera, just came. I don't know if somebody has used this before. For me, it was a revelation. Maybe it is not. But it's been a long time since having wash. And one of the things that I got now that my sister is here is that she's got a stationary art stationery place very close to her house. So she brought me a collection of colors. So probably tomorrow when I'm done with my grading and my students' homework, I'll be playing with this. So maybe next Sunday I'll be able to show you a little bit more. But I put white wash here for part of the ferns because I got so carried away that I just covered everything in black and I was like, oh my God, the ferns. So I redrew them, painted them with wash, and then I activated the Inktense directly on paper. So I literally drew at the color directly from the pencil. And then I used these water brushes with the deposit. Not so much water, very, very little water. And it just activated. In some parts, like here, the Inktense were coming like a little bit creamy. But I think it was good, right? Yes, Miriam, thank you for commenting because I was really, really surprised by the experiment, you know. It was really, really nice. And yesterday, as my niece was working with her Yoda and this paragraph that she got, I just mixed this with Inktense and some more watercolor. I have not used here the graphite, but I'll probably do that because I like the effect that it gives. So I was planning to show you this just for a little bit and probably showing you a little bit more on the tractor. Because what you can do here is really, really nice. And let me give you a recommendation, Dawn, if you are getting the Inktense. They're a little bit expensive. They're pricey. I have got the 12 set, and you will be able to see that the colors they're beautiful. I love them. They need a learning curve, but it's not that big. This is the color as you drop it directly from the pencil. And the moment you activate them, the magic happens. So this one is my recommendation. They come in different sets. This is the 12 pencil set. And my student got the 36 pencil set, and I think it's more than enough. There is the 72 set. That's really, really nice. But if you really love the pencils, go for the 72 set. If you're just experimenting, testing them, just go for the 36 set. They are really, really good. They're going to work for you. My student has been doing a lot of nice things with just a 36 pencils. So that's my recommendation. And yeah, my pencils look here really, really strange. I don't like using pencil sharpeners, because they damage everything. And as I mentioned in a previous life, the most valuable thing is the ink. And these pencils, like any other pencil, if you drop them on the floor, the cores will probably break. So get a small little container, okay, and save the tips. Save the tips. You can get a lot of color out of this. Most of the black that you see on the tractor was done with this little tip. So this one still has got a lot of life coming up. And yes, Miriam, I have the 72 set, let me tell you. I just couldn't resist. Last year I found it and I bought the 72 sets, but I want to finish up with this one. And eventually I take colors from the 72 sets just to complete what I'm doing. And that's what I have here, some colors to complete this. And yeah, Prismacolor done, the quality has been dropping and the cores are so soft that I think it's not really worth it. They are very expensive and they break just by using incorrectly one of these sharpeners. So also Prismacolors, I use a knife to sharpen them. I don't have here my knife, um, but I'll show you the one that I normally use. But it has to be something big, sturdy, so you have more control with your hand. If you use one of those that are very, very thin, um, you will have a lot of chances to have an accident and you can just cut. Not a good idea. And with the Prismacolor, I normally do that. I also save the broken tips because you can use them in different ways. You can just I've seen somebody using mineral oil and shavings taken from these little containers with Prismacolor, but I have not really mastered that, so I cannot really tell you exactly the amount of mineral oil or something waxy related that will help you work better with Prismacolor. But I think that you will have better results with other brands like Castle Arts, probably Black Widows. I have a lot of pencils, so I will not buy any of the ones that I recommend right now, but I have seen people using them. So there you go. Okay. Hi, Janet. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Very nice to have you here. Very early morning, but we're playing a little bit with this. And then I'm going to go back to the Alebrijes. I'm just waiting for more people to come in here and work with this and the tractor a little bit. So let me show you the water soluble graphic tone. Darwin should sponsor me. I have a lot of things that I bought, but I'm a very small channel, so they probably won't sponsor me. Anyway, so here we go. I'm adding directly the soluble graphite, and I have told my student that this one that we are doing here should not be perfect. It's just to experiment, to play with the material, for her to know how to use and how to sparkle her creativity, and not to follow a step-by-step tutorial, because that's not creativity. You can find books with very nice set of instructions that I'm going to show you here. This is from a book that I have shown before. But at the moment you step away from that and you decide just to use your creativity, something magic happens. And this is how we activate the graphite. It gives a very, very nice dark shadow. As this is Inktense, the color is not going to move. Here I have plain watercolor. So I'll probably not use graphite here because I will move this, and I really like this special effect that I made here. But if you combined Inktense with graphite, with some other things, you're going to have a really, really nice burst of creativity, and you will enjoy your materials more. I have seen other people in other groups, not necessarily in the crafty groups that we normally share, but in other groups, they are new colorists. They get really enabled, if you know what I mean. And I see them buying big sets and big sets of colors, Inktense, graphite things, coloring books, and they post the pictures, they show them to you, and after that, some posts days after, they come like, oh, I don't know how to use this. I've been following tutorials on YouTube. I have this, I don't know how to use it. So, recommendation, don't go crazy buying things. If it's something new, test it first. And then, if you love it, go and get more sets. That's why they have 12 pencil sets to experiment. And if you like this, then go and enable yourself and get more. Okay, this experiment with graphite that we're doing here, I just love throwing things up. Here we added salt, sea salt, big grains, to have this special effect. I decided to test the same salt with Inktense. This is watercolor here, and the effect is really nice. And with the Inktense, it doesn't work. So I'll probably cover this with a darker color. Okay, so there you go. The blocks done. I couldn't get the blocks. My original plan was not to get the 72 Inktense pencils, but the blocks. But they went out of production, you know, so I was really, really frustrated. So the closest thing I could get was this, the 24 pan studio set. It's kind of the new thing. And it has got these very small, beautiful blocks. This one's already broken because I dropped it as usual. But I have noticed that these blocks will last a long time. I'll have to add a little bit of water here. Let me see if I can do it right now. So I can paste the block back. So believe it or not, by adding a little bit of water, you activate it. It's not going to be as solid as new, but it's going to glue in a certain way. And these have been really nice. They come with a guide here that I plastified, so it's protected. And I put it there, and I'm using this one. I will probably not get the 72 Inktense block again because I have these pencils, and for me the pigment in the pencil is more valuable, so I'll get rid of the wood as I need it, and this will last, the pencils will last a long time because the ink is really, really covering a lot of things. Okay, and this one is very practical, you know. The blocks are like chalk pieces, they break easily. You have to also to be very careful. And the pan, the set, this material is sturdy. I mean, the plastic is very sturdy, and they hold on. I dropped them because I was trying to prevent my cat from doing something, so I was not really really paying attention to where I have that. Okay. And I got them from Amazon, Miriam. So the pan set. And they have got pan sets for pastel colors, for the graphite and charcoal. They have also got 24 and 12 pan sets. So there's a big option to choose. But there you go. And the blocks that you have got done will last for a long time. They don't go bad, if you know what I mean. And the colors, as you mentioned, Janet, they are fantastic and they're very good for these. I'm throwing some of the pan set here as well because I just want to experiment. Okay, so there you go. Here, this is also another dark part around this leaf. Let me show you what I have here, where this comes from. This is what I mostly mention. You can have a tutorial and you can have your sample photo, but it's never going to be the same. It doesn't matter what media you use, color pencil, watercolor, probably the closest one that you can have an original and do something very realistic or very close to what you have would be acrylic, because that's plastic, polymer ink and pigments. But any other media that you use to try and do exactly the same, it's not worth it. It's really nice. Now, to answer your question, Miriam, yes, ink tints are normally used like watercolors, but they dry really fast. And you have to be really careful. With watercolors, you can do these very soft transitions, washes, going from a dark color to a very light color. And if you don't work really fast with ink tints, either the blocks, the pens, or the pencils, what could happen is that you will have a line. So you have to be very careful there. If you want your work to have a line, no problem. But if you don't, then it's not a good idea. So, how to use ink tints? I think I have a short somewhere there or a video on how to use them. So let me take out a couple of colors. I'm going to use the back of this paper because I don't have my other media block here, but this one will make do. How can you use ink tints? Well, the typical way is just dropping a very soft layer. Don't press so much. Just do something very soft. You don't have to go like with other color pencils and just put a very strong layer. You're going to have a lot of color there. So if you see, it's a very soft layer. It's not very notable here. I cannot pronounce that word. And it's very early in the morning, sorry. So let me rephrase it. You cannot notice that much the stroke that I did. And they don't lift as easily as Dawn says because they're ink. So that's why you have to work them fast. You activate them, and there you go. And that's normally what I do to swatch. The more you keep moving in, the lighter this will come. So you can go from very pigmented bits to a very watercolor effect. Okay, so this is one. Second use, directly from the tip, you just pick up your color. And this one is good for details. Depending on the size of the brush that you have, you can just go to very, very light colors. This is, of course, well, water brush with water deposit here, but you can use any other type of brush. I have here some water, and you activate. And you can go different lines. And there you go. I'm not touching these quite much because you can also blend them. And here I have another way to use them. Masking tape. It will work like a provisional palette. You go directly, I think this is the same color, go directly and lay part of the pigment here. And you can take it directly from your masking tape. And what I like about this is that this will not be that permanent done. This is the nice thing. Yeah, these colors don't move that much. They have a more permanent characteristic, but you can still move them a little bit. The teens say that they are permanent, 100% permanent. They are not. You can still move them. And you can let this dry on your masking tape. And this corner, this little bit that you see here, was activated yesterday. And I can go back and activate it again. This is something that very few people know. And is one of the best things to use your Inktense with. Another thing that you can do, I don't have this here, but if you use a sharpener, don't use the deposit or use it only for that particular color. Take out the shavings, put the shavings in your containers, and you can also activate the shavings. And that's another way to use Inktense. That's to make the most out of these colors because they are just so great. Okay, so just to show you a little bit. You can mix colors together in the same way. Layer, another layer, and you activate. So you get more colors. Knowing color theory is important. You can put all your colors on a long strip. You can mix them. So there you go. You can mix them. Very important to have, I don't know where I put mine, but I'll get another one from here. Very important to have napkin, tissue, whatever you have there to clean your tip if you're mixing. So you don't have muddy colors at the very end. Hi Raul, welcome. Thank you for coming. Okay. And yes, I know, Janet, I discovered that because especially this pencil, this one that is ink black, this one I dropped it. I know the core is broken, so I used my sharpener and I forgot to keep my shavings, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just throwing away pigment. So the moment the tip broke, I just put it safe there. And that's what I will be using. Okay, so it's been enough time for having this dry. And that's what's starting here. Okay, so there you go. Not really, Raul. It's not snowing here. In Mexico, we don't have snow. It's just in the mountain ranges at the very north. Those areas are very cold in the north of Mexico. We're talking about the states of Sonora, Chihuahua, Sinaloa, probably Durango. But here where I am, we're probably right now 1 centigrade. That will be probably 32 to 34 Fahrenheit. But it's not snowing. So no problem there, just in the north of Mexico. I mean, it's cold, but it's not that cold. So let's see. Let's activate this one. Okay. And actually in Mexico, we have all sorts of weather. We have jungle ecosystems. We have, of course, the coast. We have beaches. We have deserts. I live in a very desertic area. We have woods, not very similar to Canadian woods, but we do have some woods and forests. We have, how can we, I'm trying to remember my geography classes. We have lakes, we have lagoons, we have, as I said, mountain ranges. It's just so big and so diverse that you travel 4 hours and you're in a different ecosystem at all. Okay, so there you go. And so here you have it. You have got that is not really activated, and now that it's dry, I cannot move it that much, but still you can get to see. This is especially for dawn. I was still able to move this pigment. After 24, 48 hours, it'll be more permanent. But if you want to work with them, you can move them. But if you're working here, I want to have a very, very soft transition. You should not wait more than 1 or 2 minutes before you're doing your transitions. All this area was done with Inktense. And if I had waited a little bit longer, this could have happened. And then I will have to use more layers to try and cover the accident. But here you have another example. This one is still not very permanent. But as I mentioned before, if you wait probably 24 to 48 hours, you'll be able to have them more in a permanent condition. So there you go. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for your comments. Well, I studied graphic design. I have a diploma, or my specialty was in illustration with traditional media. So some of the things that I know are because of experimenting, because of having teachers who were the best teachers when I studied. And that's the way it is. Okay, so let me just work a little bit with this and show you more on the tractor. So I like this one. It's one of my favorites. I'll show you a paper also that I got last week. And here I have my little companion. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. I hope I don't cover my finger. And I think that you will be able to see who is with me here. So Kika is here. She's sitting on my lap. and she's cold, but she wants to be here. So this is my helper. She doesn't want to turn, but there you have her. You have little Kika. She's 13 years old. So she's still my baby, but I'm worried about her age right now. So there you go. Okay. Then the Spanish song, Raul. No, not really, you know. Um, what I you're too young to remember this, but in the 80s there was a group called Parchis, and they were really big here in Mexico, really big. And when I say really big, it's just amazing. All their albums were sold here. They came to Mexico. They have concerts. They are my age right now. They are 50 something. But when they were a kids band, they were great. There's a documentary on Netflix, Raul, if you want to check them out. But they were really big. So let me just work with this a little bit, taking out my broken tip, just to show you how much you can get out of this little color. I don't want to cover the parts that I added with wash, so I have to be careful here. But I'm going to add something dark in there just to give it a little bit more depth. And my hands are going to finish very, very stained because, yeah, I'm doing this. I'll probably use some tweezers or something to hold this tip. But I don't have them here downstairs. Everything is upstairs. And everybody's sleeping here. My dad, my niece, my sister, her husband, so they are quite asleep. They won't be up until 8 a.m. when I finish. And at 8 a.m. it's time to go and watch Medium. 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'll be having breakfast and watching you, Miriam, as you stream, because I'm really intrigued of what you're doing with the bunny. I love the bridge. I haven't been able to finish all the streaming because when you were streaming on Thursday, I had to go early. We had a meeting, so I couldn't finish your stream. But I was just so intrigued by the bunnies and the bridge and everything. So it was something that I really need to finish and watch because I also like to work with paper pop-ups and things like that. So there you go. All right. So you can get to see. I'm trying not to touch the wash sections because if not, I'm going to get pastel, black, gray kind of mixture, and that wouldn't be good. But I'm just adding just a little bit of this one. Okay. I have Kika here, and Kika is pouring. So she's right now. She likes to art with me. Okay. Oh, Raul, that's delicious. That's delicious. Oh, chocolate mint tea. I'll have a chai later on. That's my favorite right now. Chai. And I learned that I don't have to use the word uh, tea with chai because that's already the meaning, right? Uh, but I got here in Mexico very, very good local brand. So that's my favorite to drink during cold days. I drink chai or I drink cinnamon, okay? And yes, that's my favorite. Now, let me tell you, Don, my sister got me a basic set of wash. So if I experiment this week with wash, I'll probably be brave enough next Sunday to go and show you a little bit of how to mix this. Because wash is a very different technique. So it requires certain tips. So there you go. All right. No, not yet, Raul. I was waiting for more people to start working with the Alebrijes. So this is going to be like divided in two parts. So I'm about to change into Alebrijes. Hi, Stacy May. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I know it's particularly early, but when I woke up, I saw Randy Rabbit streaming. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not the only one crazy enough to go on a stream on a Sunday morning. But as Raul is having tea, Janice mentioned that this could be called breakfast with Chris. So why not? And yeah, I have not used watch for a long time since I graduated from university. And I'm talking about 25 years, more or less. 25, 26 years. So the wash set that I had in those days definitely is dry, not with me anymore. And you can get to see that Kika wants to paint. She's sniffing everything, cutie. And she's giving me kisses. So that's why I don't move her, because she's kissing my hand. So there you go. Yeah, she's supervising everything. The other one, the Siamese, is somewhere there sleeping. He doesn't care about art. He just cares about biting my art. But anyway, yeah, Kika is supervising this. Okay, now what I'm planning to do after adding a little bit of Inktense, it's permanent ink to add the black things. Let me use this one. It's not going to move because it's permanent ink. But with this, I can go and finish up the details. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I normally take weeks to do something, to finish something. So probably that's why I don't have commissions. So I need to work more with my timing. But I would like to do in the future. But still, Mexico is not a country that is paying the artist good money for commissions. They try to haggle, I think that's the word. You give them a price and they want to reduce the price, you know? So, and they do that with handicrafts and things like that. So, when you give them a price, the first thing they say is, oh, really? That is so expensive. And you're like, well, it's my time, it's the material, it's the expertise that I have. And then they go and tell you, oh, but my nephew, my cousin, or whoever is a relative of them can do the same, but cheaper. And then I have told people, literally, I have told people, um, well, go and ask your relative to do it. There you go. No big deal. My expertise, my materials, they have a price. If you want it, take it. If you don't, there you go. So yeah, so that's the problem. And that's what people do with alebrijes and handicrafts. They see these people selling on the streets, and they go and haggle. Oh, is that the least you can offer me? And they're already giving you very cheap prices, you know, and still people go and haggle and say, no, that's very expensive. And well, I pay exactly what they ask me to. If they tell me this is this amount, here you have it. Thank you for your work and your time. Only when you are a crafter or an artist, you understand the time, the investment of time, money, material, everything that these people have. Okay, so there you go. I'm probably going to go and change into the Alebrije part. But let me mention something that I got last week and that people here in my area have recommended. I have not used this, but Janet, you're in the UK, so you probably could get this one. It's a mixed media pad. They sell these on packages, so you have 3 blocks. They have a very, very good weight. It's 140 and 300 grams. This is a small one. I know they have letter size and they have 30 sheets that you can use. I have not used this one. I'm planning to test it later on, but the paper is very thick, it's very white, it's sponged, and a lot of my friends who are mixed media artists here in Mexico, they recommended this to me, and they have told me that yes, it's really good for whatever's advertised here. So last year when I tried to get hold on this package, it just was not available anymore. So 2 weeks ago, because it took a little bit longer to arrive. 2 weeks ago, I saw them on Amazon and I said, I'm going to buy them. No problem. And this size is quite good. I like the big sizes, but right now I'm getting used to working with sizes like this. This is another big one, not as big as a letter size, but still big enough. Okay, so let me put these away, put them inside my book, and I don't get to lose them. Okay, sorry if my arms and hands cross quite much. I stream using a table. My camera is there. It's my iPad, and I use one of these service tables that you can take to your bed and have dinner and something like that. Okay, right? Okay. Now, I don't cook that much raw, not anymore. My mom was the amazing cook. She was the one. She could just cook whatever. She could just throw anything in a pot and get something delicious. Pozole, no. Tamales, no. But my sisters do. They inherited the cooking abilities of my mom. One of my sisters prepares pozole and tamales, and well, there you go. Yeah, I'm going to show you the one that we worked last week, and then I'm going back to the new ones. This was the first one that we used with the deck, the creatures deck, and it was to use a grizzly bear, porcupine, and a ladybug. But I didn't have a handy my reference pick, so I didn't like it that much. And I decided to do something different. Open my reference pages, and there you go. As soon as I finish with this roll, I'll tell you the story of Taco Bell here. Okay, so I decided to go and find a good reference, and I drew this again. It's just a light sketch, not yet work so much with shadowing. I'm planning to use probably graphite here. The paper is really thin, so I will not use that one. So yeah, I decided to do something much better. And this one is named right now Porcuberbach. So that's his name. Okay. Then here we have another one. This was from Friday. I just decided to combine two animals here, a penguin and a butterfly. This one is also just a sketch. The head is a little bit with more work, but still graphite only. Okay, and there you go. And yes, Raul, Stacy, it's correct. Most Taco Bell will never, ever, ever enter Mexico because they will just go under. The stores will never have an acceptance here. They sell shells of hard tortillas that here in Mexico we know as tostadas, but those in Mexico are flat and they are used for something else. So they sell this shell with unrealistic combinations, definitely. And if Taco Bell once wanted to open a store here in Mexico, definitely Mexican people would just go and say, haha, that's not a taco. If you really want to try tacos, you have to go down under. Don't stay in the north of Mexico. Don't stay in the states of Sinaloa, Sonora, and that area, because the closer they are to the USA, the more Tex-Mex food you can find. And it's not good. That's just a mixture, you know. The real tacos, central area of Mexico. Definitely. Definitely. That's right. They will go bankrupt, Raul, just to make it easy. Let me show you the ego that you were. Yeah, this one. This was a competition with a friend. He told me you cannot create a character with two animals and this. So we challenge one of those artificial programs that we have right now, and I typed in the prompts: eagle, tiger, French fries, because they're French fries. And I got it like a very strange mixture. And my friend drew this as a superhero, and he told me, "I want to see your take on this one." And I said, "Okay, give me some time." And there you go. I have a digital color one. I don't have it here, but I have it somewhere. But there you go. So I was thinking about in the last 30 something minutes to, oh, Kika, move your face, to tell you a little bit more about Alebrijes and try and draw one. Try and draw one in preparation for next streams. So let's put it like this, because if not, Kika will not allow me to work. And let me tell you a little bit more of Alebrijes. Let me open this one. My finger. Yes, there you go. Okay. So if you type in the word Alebrijes, you're going to find different combinations of these beautiful hybrid animals. As we mentioned in the last stream, these were created by Pedro Linares, 1936. He got sick, very sick. He went into a coma, and the dream that he had was these beautiful mythical creatures, bright colors, and the animals were singing the word Alebrije. So Finally, when he got a little bit better, he woke up, he told his family, and they started producing them with paper mache. But if you go to the south of Mexico, in the states of Oaxaca, Chiapas, especially Oaxaca, you can find them made of wood. They were made famous by the movie of Coco. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera were clients of Pedro Linares. They commissioned a lot of alebrijes. And right now, every year, the Popular Art Museum in Mexico City organizes a competition. Different artisans, schools. It's open to the public, but you have to create something big, really big. They have this competition of alebrijes. They create something. They are big sculptures. We're talking about probably 150 to 2 meters high. And in September, they close the competition. They have a jury. They choose the best three. And then during November, December, the Alebrijes go in a parade, and you can get to see them on one of the main avenues in Mexico City. The rest of the year, the rest of the month in December, they are kept there in their carts, and you can go and take photos out of those. And they just do beautiful things. I'm showing this one because I don't know if they're available in Amazon, but in some places they sell you the kit with the figure, wood figure. They give you the acrylics, and you can paint your own following a tutorial. And those are small little pieces. They're like this big, not as big as a phone. And yeah, it's like a carnival medium. It's like a carnival, and it's really amazing. The same museum, uh, the Popular Art Museum, also organizes a piñata competition, and those piñatas are in exhibition inside the museum. If you come to Mexico City, you have an offer of more than 30 different museums. It's just number one destination. And let me tell you what else I can tell about alebrijes and artists. You mentioned here Frida Kahlo, Raúl. Frida Kahlo in Mexico is not very famous. I mean, it's she is recognized as an artist, but they are from her generation of artists. There are better artists. One of them, and she is my favorite because it's also this surrealism, imaginary kind of thing work, is the Spanish immigrant Remedios Varo. She came from Spain, but at the very end, she felt Mexican. I think that comparing Remedios Varo and Frida Kahlo, I'll go for Remedios. She's far much better artist than Frida Kahlo. And the movie of Salma Hayek is just too Hollywood, too much fiction to sell. I've seen the movie, didn't like it. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera had a very, very toxic relationship. Uh, they were unfaithful to each other. They had a lot of dramas. So, and as I told you before, here in Mexico, Frida Kahlo is not that famous as other artists from that era. In the 1930s, when Spain was having the Civil War, a lot of Spanish people came to Mexico. And all the things that we have right now is because of those people coming. They really came here to really boost culture, art, society in general. So we have here a generation, or we have here a generation of people coming from Spain in the 30s, and they were kids. They were kids that were saved from the war, and they just made Mexico a better place. Okay, so here you go. Okay, then um, we call them Catrinas, and Catrinas have also different a different origin. They were created, I don't remember his first name right now, but they were created by an artist called Posadas, as far as I remember. And he created the first Katrina. And the Katrina was created to mock society, to mock society who were like, oh, I'm the rich one and I don't hang out with poor people. So it was that was the origin. Diego Rivera made them famous internationally, but it was not his creation. The original creation was by Posadas. Right now, they don't have copyright, so you can create your own Katrina. And there you go. And as you mentioned, Janet, Frida was sold internationally as a good artist in around the world, but here in Mexico, no, not really. There is in Mexico City the Frida Kahlo's Museum, that is her house, and the majority of the visitors are foreigners. Mexicans don't go and visit her. There are far better artists. We have Rivera. I think Diego Rivera was even better. We have yes, Janet, like a brand. We have Siqueiros in the Fine Arts Palace or Palacio de Bellas Artes in downtown Mexico. They have the muralists. We have Siqueiros. We have a lot of people. So imagine. So here I have my cards from the set. And I just want to go and not necessarily do this by surprise, but just choose something really, really interesting. Okay, so probably this one. To create an alebrije. Okay. And yeah, I didn't investigate that much, Dawn. I'm just telling you things that I remember. But if you want a little bit more on Katrinas and things like that, and more muralists, I can prepare something for next Sunday, and I can read a little bit more and investigate. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to use a hummingbird because this one already includes this, but this could be interesting. Let me change to. I won't have time to use the habitat, but I just wanted to scroll this because it's interesting. Okay. Yes. I have a video, Raul, on Katrinas. I did one with paper, with quilling. And I also, I think I showed that one in social media on my Instagram. I think I have it. Okay. And I love this game. I mean, it's really nice. As soon as my niece wakes up, we're going to be playing this game after we have breakfast before they go, because they go back to Mexico City today. Even though the long weekend is until tomorrow. This one could be interesting. To have either a rhino, dinosaur, panda bear, turtle. We have a lot of dinosaurs here. But there you go. Hello, Cheryl. How are you? Welcome. Lion could be also interesting to work with. I don't want to use a lot of animals. I want to do mini sketches, not a big one. Small creatures. We have here a boar, a toucan. Okay. Oh, very interesting, Miriam. I would like to see that. Oh, the anglefish. Not really. These are very common where I live. armadillos, they are pronounced in Spanish. Armadillo, I think you say it in English, but armadillos are very common, very common. And um, let me see, I'm trying to remember. We have different species here, and in some states of Mexico, they are food. They're cooked inside their protection in the oven. Okay, so yeah, there you go. There you go, Raul. Brazil as well. I have not eaten them. I think I love them so much to eat them. Oh, we can do a dog. I'm thinking about the Coco movie right now. So these animals are going to be like my inspiration a little bit. I'm going to put them here close so you can get to see them. A little bit of inspiration for having a couple of alebrijes done. Okay. All right. I don't have coffee yet, but I think I'll have one soon. I'm going to be using these animals as reference. So as they are, probably changing them just a little bit. But the characteristic of the alebrije is to mix different things. So I'm going to start with the dog. Having some wings with the dog. So let's see. Let's try and copy a little bit of the face. My drawing here is going to be very, very soft at the beginning because I'm establishing like the basic shapes. And it's not going to be looking exactly like this. I'm going to try and do just a random dog, not exactly the poop. One of my sisters wants to have this breed, and I told her, be very careful because they need a lot of care. You have to clean every single crevice, and no, they really need a lot of care. Okay, we're not going to put him exactly as it is. I want to sit him just down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be having strange paws, but there you go. Yeah, I'm not going to combine all the animals, Cheryl, don't worry. I'm just using this one as an inspiration. Because you cannot go because that's not the idea. The idea is to have something cute. So you can sit the dog a little bit. And the tail, interesting. I'll keep him mostly as a dog, but I'm going to use the feathers and wings. So I'm probably going to copy a little bit of the style of the wings here. Just a little bit of this wing. Oh, Kika left the house. She's going to go and eat something. Okay. Now the difficult part. Yes, Raul, I believe that alebrijes are in a certain way these, what we call in Spanish as quimeras, because they are mixed animals. Okay. I'm going to lift this up so you can get to see my tracing. It's really, really soft right now. Not doing much on the dog or the eyes. Some of the crevices here. I don't have this out, but I could get a little bit inspired with the horns and maybe make a little bit of a horned dog. Try to resemble not necessarily this horn, but the one that is here a little bit small. It's going to look like a dinosaur dog. Very strange. You have to imagine things fast here. You know, my sister, my sister's daughter, my niece, she's very fast at imagining things here. So there you go. The alebrije, the characteristic, as you saw, is to be very, very colorful. Let me go back to, so this is the characteristic of an alebrije, something like this. Okay. And this is typically a cat, right? Just because of the ears. So there you go. Okay. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Thank you very much for coming. Okay. Then that could be a good idea, Miriam. I can add the tail here. We're not going to draw so clearly the legs, the back. He's like, the wings are kind of fluttering a little bit. So there you go. We could put a baby there. But this is one of the first tries. Okay. I'm going to do here another one that is a little bit small. Now that you mentioned a snake, probably a good idea. Not doing Quetzalcoatl, of course, but I like the alebrijes that look a little bit like snakes. This one is going to be totally from my imagination because I don't have a snake here. There's probably a snake somewhere in the deck. But we can combine little things. There was a flamingo somewhere, and I have here gills and fins. So I'm going to combine this one that is my favorite feature for animals. Kind of a duck geese face. Small bit with the eye. Doesn't matter what I detail much. Okay. A little bit of a delay here. That's why sometimes I stream early morning, because later on more gadgets connect, and that affects my speed a little bit. Okay, let's finish the feather look here. Okay, this one I have already put wings here, so I'm not sure about the tail. I'll probably change the tail to a lion's tail. Something fluffy. Here we don't have rules. For alebrijes, you can mix whatever, like you saw here. I mean, there are no rules here. Okay. And alebrijes are mystical, magical, so no big deal here. I think this guy here is going to have kind of a mixture between fur and feathers all the way down. And we can probably give him something to hold on. So let's use, I hope I can do this properly because these legs are going to be very, very strange. We're going to give him some claws, fingers, similar to the legs of this armadillo. Okay, so there you go. Then I'm not sure, Raul, if I'm going to put him with his pouch, the baby, but if I like some of them, I will refine them. That's for sure. Let me move this because this is kind of in the middle. Okay. Hi, Raj. How are you? Thank you very much for coming. How are you? Okay. Let me do this because I'm going to open a second. I'm going to go into my channel and open it, this one again, so I can have more people here with me as having you with some of you with blue dresses. Okay, so there you go. All right. So let me close this one. Okay. The other one, the other paw. Okay. I'm probably going to change the tail to the other side. So that doesn't affect. Okay, sorry, I'm going to be in the middle there. There you go. A little bit there. Probably improve the perspective later on. So I can use this space for the other claw. Okay, there you go. Okay. So here we have two crazy alebrijes going on. Okay, so there you go. This one I'm going to keep them here. I want to keep the lion. The hummingbird. I'm going to combine these three. I'm going to move to keep them organized, you know. Okay. I promise that some of these will be detailed in the future. I'll probably use a light box and transfer part of the drawing or redo them as I did with the grizzly one. Okay. I don't like this lion that much, but I'll probably go and just invent a little bit of features of the lion or find a better lion to work with, you know. Let me make this small. This one looks very, very strange. Okay. I want a better looking lion. And I prefer normally drawing lions looking on the other side. Why? Don't ask me. I just like that This one is too small. Come on, little lions. Show yourselves. We have here interesting lions, but not one that I look or like that much. This one. Okay. There you go. All right. So we're doing good, Raj. How about you? What are you having for dinner? Because I know that you're like almost done, right? The day is almost done there with you. Okay. All right, I erase that because I didn't like it. I like this one better. Okay. So let's establish a little bit of the basic shape of the lion. It still makes me nervous to draw here in front of you guys. It's something that I have not mastered that much, and sometimes I get self-conscious that I'm being watched, and then I get nervous. It's like, oh my god. Okay, here the ear was a little bit dropping down, but yes, Janet, I know. Thank you very much. Like when I started hanging out with you guys, I was really nervous. I was not sure how I was going to be perceived or received in the community, because we have lots of talented people that are very inspiring, and everything you do is, for me, is fascinating. I started watching Didi, and from there I have met a lot of people, and there are some of the things that you do that I don't do because of the space that I have, or because I cannot just go and invest much in that. This lion is going to be looking very frumpy, but anyway, I just want to establish the mane, the body, and the legs. But anyway, let's go back. And later on, I stream first with Beth, but sometimes Saturdays evenings, or I have visits, or I just go and hang out, and there's not really a lot of Saturdays that I can go and stream with her. And then I kind of knew that Anne and Carol were not streaming early Sunday, and that's where Miriam and I agreed and say, "Hey, let's take the Sunday morning," and that's where we are. I'm going to try and use a little bit of these for the lion. It's not going to be the complete armor. It's going to be a little bit, just the idea. And of course the tail needs to be similar to this guy's tail. Okay, yes. So there you go. Hi Jasper, how are you? We have not met in previous streams, or let's put it better, I have not seen you in other streams. Normally when I say goodbye, you enter, and I'm like, oh my god, Jasper is here and I cannot stay because I have something to do. But there you go. Okay. Hi Johnny, how are you? Nice for you guys coming here. Thank you so much. We're experimenting with a lion. Okay, but here I am, Jasper, with my strange accent as a bilingual speaker. So I don't know if I'm clear enough, or I don't know if you understand me enough. So, and I hope I'm not inventing words, because when I get nervous, I invent words. Like my students, they get nervous, they invent things. So it's fun. And sometimes when I go silent, it's because I'm thinking, how can I put this properly? Or I forget the word in that moment, and I'm trying to find the translation. Right, Miriam? Like, yeah, sometimes when Miriam is streaming and she asks me, how do you say that? And I'm like, oh, Miriam, give me a second, because I'm thinking in Spanish and English at the same time. But I normally try to help you with the translation, because yeah, it's very different what we do. And the syntax of both languages, it's just totally different. Okay, so there you go. I'm thinking about the legs and the paws. What should I do here? Because this guy is already interesting enough as he is. The eyes are not finished yet. I don't like his face that much. I'll go and refine the face later on. Okay, yeah. Oh, Raul, you are my hero with languages. I just wish I could speak as many languages as you can. That would be my dream. I'll try to learn something this year. I promise. I'll try to learn something. I was going to add some wings to this guy, but I don't think he'll look good. So I normally like horns, because I like dragons. But dragons require a different skill, because you have to work with the dragon from the skeleton. So it's a believable mythical creature. Thank you, Jasper. Thank you very much. I'm trying to have some perspective right here, because the lion is a little bit turned. His face is a little bit turned to the left. So let's see. Or we can have a lion with a deformed horn. Who knows? Okay. This one coming out from the mane. I have here, but my dad does. So let me see. Broadcasting from dad's office. Okay. Okay, little lion. I don't like your face that much, so I have to do something here with your face. Mechanical pencil. There you go. The eyes will be interesting. Okay. Here we're going to put his ear underneath. I like the noses of lions. I prefer tigers, but lions are just so majestic. Okay. This expands a little bit. But as this is an alebrije, I don't worry so much for this one to be that realistic. Okay. I'll go back into chat in a couple of minutes. Let me just finish a little bit of the nose and the muscle that I don't like that much. Okay, let me go for this one. I like this horn. I don't like this one that much, but anyway, it's going to stay like that. this one is going to look much better than the grizzly bear that we did before. Okay, this is strange. Nobody has woken up here. I thought my niece was going to wake up early and come downstairs to hang out here. Ah, that's why this is too broad. So that's why it's not looking that good. But there you go. Marvelous. If you go back to the first part of my stream today, if you replay, you're going to be able to see the show that I did before my niece's activity. Okay. There you go. Okay. Your messages appear as moderation, Jasper, so I'll probably give you moderation permission later on. But my niece drew something for me. I showed this at the very beginning of the streaming, so check this out, because she's an artist. She's really good, and I really, really love what she did here. Okay, pause. I'm going to exaggerate the pause, probably. And I'm going to totally hide that leg. So I'm going to exaggerate the claws. Because a real lion will not have the claws all the time outside. They won't be able to walk, definitely. Then this is the armadillo or armadillo armor here. I call it armor because something similar we mentioned in Spanish. That's why it's called armadillo. Okay. And check about poetry. Nice. I'm lost in poetry. I couldn't write a poem for my life, you know. Definitely not. You need a talent for that. Oh, yes, Raul. We get a lot of hummingbirds here. Because I have here my garden at the back of the house is full of flowers and they come and visit. And they are fast. We believe in Mexico that hummingbirds, when they visit you, is the soul of a loved one who is coming to visit you. So whenever you get to see a hummingbird, it's a big treasure for Mexican people. This is an Aztec tradition. In some other countries, they believe it's butterflies, but here we think it's hummingbirds. They're fast. I have been able to rescue a couple that sometimes they get trapped because I have kind of a porch here and they get trapped and I have to save them from my cat, from the Siamese. And unfortunately, last year I was too late to save one hummingbird and I literally cried all afternoon. It was August last year. August, September, I think. I don't remember the date. My cat caught a hummingbird and I just couldn't save it. By the time I was able to get to the little bird, my cat had already broken his neck. So I was like, oh no, why? But well, it's the instinct of the animal, so I couldn't just do anything. Okay. Hi, Janet. Thank you for coming. So here we are. Let me check my timing because I want to give you enough time to go have coffee, go for any other things that you need to do before Miriam starts streaming. And I also want Miriam to get ready. So I'll probably stop here my streaming at around 7:45, something like this. Okay, this one is having more detail, but I'm still not going to do the hind legs because I don't like them that much. I don't know why I'm not doing this properly, so I'll probably do this before. This lion is not having a fluffy tail, it's having kind of an armadillo thing. So there you go. And I loved all the different birds that you're mentioning. So this proves that as human beings we are so similar, you know, that we might look different on the outside, but in the end our beliefs, our values, the things that we cherish are very similar. And that's something that it's really amazing from this community. This is what I have gotten from this community: a lot of love, support, very similar ways of thinking. So there you go. Hi Brenda, thank you for coming in. Yes, this deck is just so inspiring. I recommend it. Get it. It's on Amazon. Go and get this one because you get to do a lot of things, and you can play it in different forms, as a game, as competition, or just different things. And it's just amazing what you can do here. Okay guys, I'm going to start closing the stream because it's 7:43 and I want you to have enough time to have your copy, get something done, for Miriam to get ready. The name of the deck is Creatures. I don't know if it's glowing too much. Creatures. And I'm going to show this. I'm going to show the barcode. Probably will help you finding this easily. So there you go. Creatures. Drawing deck. Okay. So here you are. I don't know if you can see this better, Miriam. If not, I'll send you a photo using Messenger so you can find it easily. Okay. Okay, guys, so I'm going to stop the stream here. Thank you very much for coming. The next bus stop is Miriam. So go to her channel. Miriam, if you know how to drop your channel, go ahead. Or if somebody knows how to drop Miriam's channel, please do so. So thank you very much. I'm going to be having breakfast as you stream, Miriam. And then I'll go and play with my niece using this deck. Okay. So thank you very much, Janet. Thank you very much, everyone. It was so nice to have you here. And next stream, I'll bring more investigation about Katrina's and all those little things that you asked me today. And we'll probably work with Alebrijes in a different way. Okay. It's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to tell you much, but it's going to be like upgrading Alebrijes. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. I'm going to close the stream and have a very good day. Thank you very much and see you.